Good evening, everybody. It is 6 o'clock, and I will call the first regular Common Council meeting to order. Will the clerk state the quote of the evening?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The start of something new brings the hope of something great. Anything is possible.
Thank you. Will the clerk call the roll?
Alderperson Bellinger.
Here.
Alderperson Borst.
Here.
Alderperson Close.
Here.
Alderperson Decker.
Here.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Here.
Alderperson LaFave.
Here.
Alderperson Menzer.
Here.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Here.
Alderperson Perella.
Here.
Alderperson Rust.
Present.
There are 10 present.
Thank you. If everyone can please stand for the Police Honor Guard.
Detail. Halt. Order. Arms. Ready. Cut. Right shoulder. Arms. Ready. Cut. Present. Arms. Please join us in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shoulder. Arms. Present. Arms. Present. Port. Arms. Detail. Colors.
All right, please be seated. I will now call up Father William Bolson to lead our invocation for the evening.
Peace, everybody. Let's just take a second to get still, maybe close our eyes and just reflect for a moment. Certainly the people who serve in this chamber, but all of us, to reflect just for a moment in silence on the ways in which we serve, the ways we're called to serve. Reflect on the challenges that call forth our best efforts. Reflect on our deepest motivations to serve. Reflect on the ways we feel unequipped to serve as we've been called, the ways we feel we've been graciously gifted to serve. Holy and loving God, you have made us in your image to serve and create with you, to tend the life you have bestowed upon us. And as you have called us, above all, to serve rather than be served, we beg you now to enlighten the hearts and minds of these your servants elected to serve in this government. Fill them with prudence, justice, fortitude, temperance, that in all their doings they may serve your ends, and at the last, all creation may praise your name unto the ages of ages. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We'll now do the land recognition by Brett from the Sheboygan County Museum.
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Brett Lobello. I'm the Executive Director at the Sheboygan County Museum. By itself, a land acknowledgement is a relatively small gesture. It becomes more meaningful when combined with authentic relationships, respect, and informed action. And that's really something to strive for. This land acknowledgement recognizes both traditional Native inhabitants of this land and their present ancestors. And I plan to read the John Michael Kohler Arts Center land acknowledgement. Their staff went through a years-long collaborative process with local Native people to draft this land acknowledgement, and that's really something special. The John Michael Kohler Arts Center acknowledges that we in Sheboygan County occupy the traditional homelands of the Ho-Chunk, Potawatomi, Menominee, Oneida, and Ojibwa people along the southwest shores of Michigamme. This area holds tremendous value to these tribes and their cultural history. Let this acknowledgement remind all that this land was taken from the Native people. Let these words increase public awareness as we honor, respect, and support the indigenous peoples who are still connected to the land on which we live. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. We'll now call on Sheboygan's Poet Laureate, Lisa Viehaus, to read a poem.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm honored to be here to share a poem written especially for this occasion, the swearing in of Mayor Ryan Sorensen. The poem is called Sheboygan, Our City. From smokestacks to steeples, our city holds on to itself around a river that pours into a lake, a great lake. From bridges to piers, our city works to find connections as students make their way to school and coffee shops bustle open. From chairs to cheese, from children to churches, our city has a long history steeped in art and industry. From one choir to another, our city sings to itself every morning and every evening. The voices rising like clouds, billowing in a blue, blue sky. Our city has at least two sisters, one day, maybe more, Tsubame in Japan and Esslingen in Germany. When we gather with our sisters, it is always a joyful reunion. Our city is built on the traditional homelands of the Ho-Chunk, Potawatomi, Menominee, Oneida, and Ojibwe people along the southwest shores of Michigamme. That lake, that great lake that is our mother. We respect all who came before us, all who live with us, and all those yet to come. Our city is a beautiful place, full of kind and caring people who represent it govern it, protect it, and share it with each and every one. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And now we'll do the swearing in of the mayor.
All right, please repeat after me. I, Ryan Sorensen,
I, Ryan Sorensen,
having been elected to the office of mayor,
having been elected to the office of mayor,
swear that I will support the Constitution
swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States and the state of Wisconsin,
of the United States and the state of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of said office
the duties of said office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Good. Congratulations.
I think, do I sign?
The mayor wants it official, so. There you go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll call up the alderpersons-elect, Districts 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and we'll do it up on the podium as well. And then if you could stand in order of your district numbers. And then family, there is the front row for pictures if anyone wants to shuffle up for pictures.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ryan Rosler,
Having been elected. To the office of alderperson.
to the office of alderperson,
Swear that I will support.
swear that I will support
The Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin.
and the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin,
And will faithfully discharge.
and will faithfully discharge
The duties of said office.
the duties of said
To
office
the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we have some business to attend to for the folks in the audience, so bear with us. All right, item number 8 on the agenda, adopting the rules of the council. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt the rules.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Alder Mitchell?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things on this one. I guess first, I just somewhat take issue with the way these new rules came down. We got a memo on Sunday letting us know that there were going to be changes to the rules. I think most of us, at least me personally, didn't actually see a copy of those updated rules until this agenda posted in the afternoon yesterday. The rules that this body operates by for the next year, I can't imagine something that would have made more sense to actually go to the committee of the whole in the past and had that conversation with council. Read through them a couple times. I don't have many major concerns. The the one item I'm not sure about yet, and I wish we had the opportunity to talk about more, is the proposed schedule for committees. I understand some of the benefits that we could get from having all the committee meetings on the same day, stacked apart. I just would have liked to discuss how that would actually work in practice a bit more before we approve that. Two of the committees have a half-hour time frame away from each other. I've been doing this a while, and I can't tell, looking at an agenda, when we're going to have an hour-and-a-half meeting half the time. It's the items that you don't expect. And I guess due to not having worked through that, I do have an amendment I'd like to propose to the proposed rules. I would move to amend the document so as to eliminate the second paragraph of section 3 that begins with the language, committees will meet the second and fourth Mondays.
Second. Can you just state it one more time for the clerk? Or if you have it in writing, pass it down.
Thank you so much.
Right, there's been a motion to amend. Is there a second? Second. Moved and seconded by Alder Heidemann. Any discussion on the amendment? Any Alders Heidemann and Bellinger, is this on the amendment?
No, I would just like to state that I concur with Alderman Mitchell. I didn't really appreciate the way that this was kind of rolled out on a Sunday morning without any kind of communication with the aldermen that we're going to change the rules. You would think that the leadership would have collaborated with the rest of the aldermen and got kind of feedback on what we thought needed to be changed or amended or gone over, and I fully concur that this should go to the committee of the whole for a robust discussion amongst the group, seeing as how it is going to be the rules that we're all going to be working under for the next year. So, and then we could just adhere to the existing rules until that meeting takes place and that's voted on. So thank you.
Any other discussion on the amendment? Alder Mitchell?
Thank you, Mayor. And just some clarification, because I'm not sure that reading that amendment out loud made sense to anybody that didn't have that page of the document open to them. The effect would just be eliminating the paragraph that is setting the schedule for committee meetings before the committee chairs have a chance to meet and talk about it. Frankly, the committee chairs could meet and talk to their committee members and agree to pursue that exact same schedule. I just would like there to have been a bit more discussion first. Thank you.
Thank you. Is any other discussion on the amendment? Alder Heidemann? This is on the amendment.
Thank you, Mayor. So after we vote on the amendment, then I'll still have an opportunity to refer this to the committee of the whole as amended?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no more cues on the amendment, is the clerk, can you read the amendment first, clerk, and then we'll call the roll?
Sure. The motion was to amend the document so as to eliminate the second paragraph of section 3, beginning with the language, committees will meet the second and fourth Mondays.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no more discussion, the clerk will call the roll.
Alderperson Bellinger.
So an aye is voting in favor of the amendment, correct?
To eliminate
Correct.
the second, yes.
I vote aye.
Alderperson Bors.
Nay.
Alderperson Close.
Nay.
Alderperson Decker.
Nay.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Aye.
Alderperson LaFave.
Nay.
Alderperson Menzer.
Aye.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Aye.
Alderperson Perella.
Nay.
Alderperson Rust.
Nay.
4 ayes, 6 noes.
All right, the amendment fails. We're back at the main motion. Alder Heidemann?
Thank you, Mayor. I make the motion to send this to the committee of the whole of the Common Council.
All right, there's been a motion to send to committee of the whole, and there's been a second. Any discussion? Alder Heidemann?
Again, the way this came about and all the items that are in there, we have absolutely no citizen input as to how this is going to affect. I mean, how many years have we have meetings on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays? What, 20 years? And all of a sudden you decide that you're going to change it in one fell swoop without having any citizen input whatsoever? I believe my constituents should have that opportunity if they don't agree of having all the meetings on one night or anything else that's contained in this document. we should have more discussion, and basically I think that would be the appropriate way to get this thing adopted.
All right, thank you. Alder Decker?
Yes, I guess I would make a comment on it. As far as the day of the meeting or when we have meetings, that's been up for debate any other time. We've had the chair sets the date of when the meeting is. If for some reason law and licensing knows they're going to have a license up to bid and they feel it's going to take longer, they can move it to Tuesday, do it to Wednesday, whichever is more convenient. We just moved law and licensing to a Thursday because of scheduling issues for some of the alders. To move them to a different day, I don't think is a big burden, and I think this is a big plus because it's going to give people the ability to be able to go to a public works meeting, to go so that all the alders, if they want to be, they can be at the public works, they can be at the law and licensing, they can be at the finance and personnel, and not have to make the trip down here for each one. A lot of times, some of the meetings go very quickly, and sometimes some of the meetings go longer. If we need to make changes, we can make changes. I think this is just a trial basis to be able to see how this works. If it doesn't work, we can always change it.
Thank you, Alder Decker. Alder Bellinger.
Could I just ask the president or the vice president of the council why the rest of the council wasn't included in these changes for the rules, and if you have any objection to it going to the committee of the whole where this body could debate these changes?
Alder Decker or Alder Russ, you want to take that?
We had a meeting with all city leadership on last Wednesday or Thursday, so we didn't have a lot of time to actually write this out as well. So this was brought up to us from multiple department heads as well as the city administrator that this will be a lot easier for them as well, because city staff would like to just have one really long night a week instead of having consistently, you have the city engineer has to attend 2 or 3 meetings a week, and that goes late. So that's basically the reason for the change as far as committee meetings.
Alder Decker?
Yes, I would not be in support of bringing this committee as a whole. If you have an amendment, you want to make an amendment now, you want to change it, we can debate it. But I don't think that bringing it to committee as a whole is really an appropriate thing. So,
for what reason? Why wouldn't you want the whole body to discuss this?
Excuse me, but are we not here discussing it correctly right now?
Thank you. Alder LaFave?
Yes, and I received the email, read it carefully. It was very succinct, and it was very well mapped out. I see nothing but a positive for this. What it'll do is it'll make the workings of each and every committee more transparent, so that every alder will be able to have the information instead of going like, hey, what happened at the Department of Public Works Committee, last week? Because, I don't really know what went on. Or what, like people coming up to me because I'm on the License Hearing and Public Safety Committee, and I'm on the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting. People coming up, what happened at your committee meeting? I'm not clear. So the idea of having each and every one of these meetings on the same day where all of the alders can be in the audience, can hear what is going on, is nothing but complete and absolute and total transparency, and that's always a good thing.
Thank you, Alder LaFave. Alder Heidemann.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, the order of the meetings, and that's not the biggest concern here that I have with this document, but there's also language in there as far as aldermen not reporting to the city clerk when they're going to be a remote. So again, that was something that was brought up before. It was basically, there was a resolution that was tabled. We never saw it again. And again, I think just when you're adopting these rules, I think it's more important for everybody to have an opportunity to go over it, discuss it, And the committee of the whole is one of those places that you should be using. I don't know why you're so scared of using the committee of the whole where everybody can talk and we're not held to the same, how it's done at the council meeting where we can talk to it on 3 times. So I think it's very important that it gets sent to the committee of the whole. I think that's the best way of basically adopting these rules and maybe changing them a little bit more at the committee of the whole. I don't understand your concern why you don't want to have more discussion on it.
Thank you, Alder Heidemann. Alder Menzer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would have to concur with many of the sentiments of some of my fellow aldermen about having a discussion. Myself being new, I certainly would like to have a little more discussion, especially with something Alder Heidemann brought up with the remote attendance policy. As someone who has worked in IT for a little over 10 years and has been exclusively remote for the past 5, I've learned that there is, with technology, one thing you can be sure of, and that is that there's nothing you can be sure of. I have seen nowhere any standard operating procedures regarding the instance where a alderman would Teams video chat in, phone in, and then all of a sudden they lose power, they lose connectivity, they lose their signal in the middle of potentially voting on something. I can't imagine moving forward without some proper processes in place to address those things that can and will, based on my experience, happen. So I certainly would like to see a little bit more discussion on this, among other things in this document. Thank you.
Thank you. Alder Decker.
I just want to make a comment on the remote attendance. We actually operated this entire body for over 1.5 years on remote attendance completely. I was probably one of the only ones that was here, not remote actually. I was here for the entire time, but there were quite a few that remoted in. It worked. It's what got us through the pandemic. It's how we worked. We were able to work through it then. It is how our brethren at the county, they work the exact same way. They use remote all the time. I think that, I guess I'm going to just take myself as an experience. A couple of weeks ago, I woke up on Thursday morning and I had a terrible cold. There was no way I could ever have come into that day. If that had been a Sunday or a Monday, I would not have been able to have attended that council meeting then. And to be able to do it, and because I was coughing, but I was still able to function, and I was still would have able to have voted. To be able to, but I would not have been if that would have happened to me. I would not have been able to give the proper notification, so I would not have been able to have voted. If it would have been something important to my constituents, this is about being able to represent our constituents on a consistent basis, no matter what. I know that one of our other alders, he got called out of town. He had for work. He was in a hotel room. He could have easily remoted in. Wasn't able to because he didn't have the notification, because he didn't know this was going to happen. He got called out of town unexpectedly. Again, this is something that everyone does, and I do not have a problem with it.
So just for the record, we're debating right now the motion to refer to committee of the whole. So we're discussing referring this to committee. So has anyone buzzed in, want to discuss about the referral motion? That is what we're discussing right now. Alder Bellinger, you have a comment on referral?
No, I was going to comment on the remote attendance piece of that.
Okay.
Can I speak to that or not?
Once we're done with this motion. Alder Heidemann, you have a motion regarding referral to committee?
Okay, so we're going to vote on this and not send it to the committee of the whole because we don't want to discuss it. I would like to refresh Alderman Decker's mind on, we went through 2 years of someone that we couldn't attend a meeting. How many times, Mayor, did you have to call her? How many times did we not have?
All right, Alder Heidemann, we're discussing the motion. Discussing the motion to refer right now.
Right.
You have a comment regarding referral to committee.
Okay.
That is what we're discussing right now.
Right.
Alder Prella.
I have to wait for my...
All right. Any further discussion regarding referring this to committee of the whole? Seeing none, will the clerk call the roll? we're voting on the motion to refer to committee of the whole.
Alderperson Bellinger.
I just want to clarify, I vote is in favor of referring it to committee of the whole, correct?
Yes.
I vote aye.
Alderperson Borse.
Nay.
Alderperson Close.
Nay.
Alderperson Decker.
Nay.
Alderperson Heidemann.
Aye.
Alderperson LaFave.
Nay.
Alderperson Menzer.
Aye.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Aye.
Alderperson Perella.
Nay.
Alderperson Rust.
Nope.
4 ayes, 6 noes.
All right, that motion fails. Now we're back at the main motion on adopting of the council rules. Any discussion on the main motion? Alder Bellinger.
Thank you. So I'd like to go back to the remote attendance. I've been an alderman for the past year under this, and we've had one alderman that has abused this. You know, they never showed up for any meetings, committee meetings, or the council meetings. We've had other aldermen that are traveling, and they remote in. Not once during any of these meetings did any of the remote attendees contribute one sentence or ask a question or do anything regarding what was going on in the meeting. So it was virtually, they were there and they just voted. That's all they did. There was no communication. I think it's vital to the constituents. Look at the crowd we have right here, right now. That if we're dealing with a controversial issue, say the Evergreen Park issue comes up before us. That is an issue that there are strong feelings on both sides. It's going to be a crowded council chambers. And if people don't want to show up and they're going to say, you know what, I don't want to face the music, I don't want to deal with the criticism one way or the other, I'm just going to sit at home and vote and ignore my constituents and do that. And, and that promotes that. So I think it's a huge problem. I get where we want to have the public be able to zoom in or through Teams, whatever method that we're going to use, to see the stream live as it's happening. I'm in favor of that. I'm in favor of aldermen coming in remotely on occasion when travel precludes them or health precludes them once or twice or however many times. But the way that it's been abused this past year is just, it's crazy that what's transpired. We had to put off a vote on Evergreen Park because essentially the first district had no representation. So, so I would think that, again, that this would be discussed amongst all of us, and I'm fairly, I'm shocked that this is being railroaded through the way it is.
Thank you, Alder Bellinger. Alder Perella.
Yeah, I just want to offer a couple of thoughts on it. One is other government bodies are already using the method that we are proposing. And I am not aware of any particular instances or complaints or I have not heard any. Maybe they are out there, I'm not aware of it. But besides that, I want to reiterate for everybody and for us on this side that the expectation and the preference are that people attend in person. That is the expectation. We are not saying that from now on you can, once in a while, every other time you can attend remotely. This is the expectation, and the responsibility of the other people is to attend in person. However, if the instance is that you need, sadly, because another reminder, right now, as it is, if I know ahead of time that I cannot attend in person, I contact the city clerk and I ask her to have the link. So I can. If I know ahead of time, I can right now attend remotely. So that doesn't change. We all can already now. What is going to change is that if I sadly am unable to attend, then I can. So in my view, we are actually enhancing the opportunity to to participate. So again, I don't see that as a problem, and I have no other concerns on this document.
Thank you, Alder Perella. Alder Boris.
I just want to reiterate essentially what some of the other alders have said. I think that allowing the remote attendance essentially just ensures that our constituents are represented equally across the entire council. And if someone does have a personal circumstance that prevents them from being able to attend in person, they have that opportunity. And I know that a concern consistently mentioned was about a particular alder who was not able to attend in person. I'm fairly certain that was completely beyond their control. And so given what has happened in the past, I can understand there may be some concerns around that, but as we look to the future, I think ultimately this ensures that our constituents do get represented by each one of us consistently, and that we have an opportunity to do that consistently. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Boris. Alder Decker.
I guess I'm just going to reiterate what I said before. We did this before. We did this for a year and a half. We worked through it. It worked well. There are sometimes there can be challenges when you're doing things remotely. There can be challenges all along, but I just think that it's best that we're here when we're able to represent our constituents on a consistent basis, that we can take care of our constituents. And if we fall ill, or if a work issue comes up, we're able to take care of our constituents, and that's the important part.
Thank you, Alder Decker. Alder Heidemann.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Okay, so now we're going to all be able to Zoom, okay? And if we have to Zoom as Alderman Feldy Zoomed, we'll never be on Zoom. How can you sit through 2 years of that, not having somebody represent the 1st District, and say, that's okay, I can Zoom, or I don't even have to go? Because you don't even, in this document, it says you don't even have to call the city clerk to say you're going to be remote. Well, then how do your committee members know whether you're going to be remote? Are you going to call one of your committee members to say, by the way, I'm going to be Zooming, but just in case I don't get on, or just in case we don't have a quorum because somebody can't make it? I think I'd also like to see something put in place as to how many times you can attend meetings in Zoom. Can you do it 6 times, 10 times, 20 times? What do you want to do? Because sometimes I think there might be people who might get in the habit of doing the Zoom rather than doing the work, and we get elected by our constituents. We're supposed to be at that meeting. And that didn't happen for one district for 2 years, and there was another one that was gone for a year, and nobody ever said anything about it. But again, I think it's a bad approach. I'm not going to support the new rules.
All right, thanks, Alder Heidemann. Seeing no more cues, we'll go for a vote. So the vote on the floor now is to approve the main motion to approve the council rules. Will the clerk call the roll?
Alderperson Bellinger.
Nay.
Alderperson Boris.
Aye.
Alderperson Close.
Aye.
Alderperson Decker.
Aye.
Alderperson Heidemann.
No.
Alderperson LaFave.
Aye.
Alderperson Menzer.
Nay.
Alderperson Mitchell.
Nay.
Alderperson Perella.
Aye.
Alderperson Rust.
Aye.
6 ayes, 4 noes.
All right, that is approved. Next, we'll move on to elections of President and Vice President of the Common Council. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that nominations be received from the floor, voting be done by closed ballot, and if 2 or more candidates are nominated, the candidate with the lowest number of votes be dropped from the list, and balloting to continue until one candidate receives a majority.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any nominations? Alder Rust.
I nominate Alder Dean Decker.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to nominate Alder Decker. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other? Alder Heidemann?
I nominate Trey Mitchell.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion and second to nominate Alder Mitchell. Just give Meredith a second to catch up here.
Thank you.
Are there any other nominations? Alder Bellinger?
No.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Final call. Are there any other nominations? Is there a motion to close nominations?
So moved.
Is there, moved and seconded? All right, the city clerk will administer the ballots for Alder Decker and Alder Mitchell for council president. Then just raise your hand when you're ready, and then the clerk or the administrator will collect the ballot. Everyone got it in? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Scott, you want to play the music? Congratulations, Council President Decker. All right, we'll now move on to Council Vice President. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that nominations be received from the floor, voting to be done by closed ballot, and if two or more candidates are nominated, the candidate with the lowest number of votes be dropped from the list and balloting to continue until one candidate receives a majority.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any nominations? Alder Rust.
I move to nominate Alder Grazia Perella.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
I nominate John Bellinger for Vice President.
All right, there's been a motion to nominate Alder Bellinger. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded by Menzer. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Final call. Seeing none. Alder Decker, is there a motion to close nominations?
I move to close the nominations.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All right, the clerk and administrator will distribute ballots for Council Vice President for Alders Perella or Alder Bellinger.
Okay. Okay. Have to go through the whole thing again now.
everyone got their ballots in? All right. All right, congratulations, Council Vice President Alder Prella. All right, next we'll have an election on the representative for the City Plan Commission. Alder Decker?
Thank you, Mayor. I move that nominations be received from the floor, voting to be done by open ballot, and if two or more candidates are nominated, the candidate with the lowest number of votes be dropped from the list and balloting to continue until one candidate receives a majority.
Second. Moved and seconded. Are there any nominations? Alder Boris?
I nominate Alder Mike Close.
Second. Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Alder Heidemann?
I nominate John Bellinger.
Second. Moved and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, Alder Decker, is there a motion to close the nominations?
I move to close the nominations.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All right. We'll distribute those ballots for the City Plan Commission for Alder Bellinger or Alder Close for the Plan Commission.
You can just announce those.
They're the right ones this time. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. This is an open ballot, so I have votes for Alderperson Bellinger from Bellinger, Menzer, Mitchell, and Heidemann. And for Alderperson Close, I have LaFave, Close, Decker, Borse, Perella, and Rust.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Alder Mike Close. Okay, next, I will pass the gavel to Council President Decker, who will handle the Committee of the Whole election.
Okay.
Alder Decker, take it away.
I will open up the floor for the Committee of the Whole. I'm looking for any nominations for the chairperson.
Alder
Bella.
I move that nominations be received from the floor, voting to be done by open ballot, and if more than 2 candidates are nominated, the candidate with the lowest number of votes be dropped from the list, and balloting to continue until 1 candidate receives a majority.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. And I will open up the nominations.
I nominate Alder Zach Rust for chair of the Committee of the Whole.
Motion's been made and seconded for Zach Rust. Are there any other nominations?
I've buzzed in.
You're on. Your mic's on.
I nominate Alderman Joe Heidemann.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for Alderman Joel Heidemann. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Last call. Are there any other nominations? Is there a motion to close the nominations?
I make a motion to close the nomination.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Thank you.
City Clerk.
Okay, open ballot again. I have votes for Alderperson Rust from Rust, Perella, Decker, Close, Borse, and LaFave. And for Alderperson Heidemann, Mitchell, Menzer, and Bellinger.
Congratulations, Chair Rust. Alrighty, I will convene the Committee of the Whole and pass back over to the Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. I will reconvene the council meeting. All right. Item 13, report from Council President on the election of the Committee of the Whole Chairperson. Council President, who has the Committee of the Whole elected as the Chairperson?
The Committee of the Whole is elected as a Chairperson, Zach Rust.
All right. Thank you, Council President. With that, Council President, you have the floor on item 14 to present your message.
I'm just going to make this short and sweet. I just would like to thank my fellow alders for entrusting me with this honor. I'm looking forward to working with all of you as we meet the challenges we face as a city. If we work together, I believe we can do great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. City Clerk, anyone for public forum?
No one this evening.
Thank you. Next, we'll jump to Mayor announcements. Well, good evening, everybody. City Council members, department heads, city employees, my family, my friends, families, and neighbors, and most importantly, my fellow Sheboyganites. Just moments ago, I took an oath to once again lead our wonderful city for another 4 years, and I promise to continue to work hard every day to make Sheboygan a more prosperous and welcoming community for all. We are a growing city that has so much opportunity and potential. And today we are celebrating what we've achieved and acknowledging that there's still so much work ahead of us to do. And most importantly, reaffirming my commitment to all of you as your mayor. As many of you know, I was born and raised right here in Sheboygan in a working class family, and I'm honored and humbled to serve as a second-term mayor for my hometown. After winning every single ward in the city and having support of so many Sheboyganites, I am so blessed to once again lead the community that has raised me. We've accomplished so much in the past 4 years, and we could not have done it without the hard work and dedication from our 450 dedicated public servants who work hard every day to provide essential municipal services for our over 50,000 residents. Our skilled city employees are one of our most important assets that work hard to serve our community. We are a large organization, being one of the larger communities in Wisconsin, and we're always bound to have a few bumps along our way, but we are strong and we are resilient. Over the past several years, we've made significant strides in strategic investments aimed at strengthening the foundation of our community, enhancing the quality of life for all of our residents, and these efforts reflect our long-term commitment to smart growth in our city. We have prioritized improvements on roads and core infrastructure that have been left unrepaired for years after neglect, and we also recognize that public safety is the cornerstone of a thriving community, and we have supported our police and firefighters and provided them the tools and resources that they need to protect and serve our city. And also in the response for pressing need for housing, we have supported residential development to meet the growing demand to help more families find a place to call home. And additionally, we have opened a new senior center, invested in our library, investing in our parks as well, and our continued investments in public spaces has enhanced the beauty and recreational opportunities throughout Sheboygan, reinforcing our city's identity as a place where families can enjoy a strong quality of life. Also, we've seen a tremendous increase in tourism and business growth and expansion, and we've taken the steps to continue to remain a forward-looking community, and we still have so much more work to do. These accomplishments are just a few of the testaments that we can achieve when we work together with a shared purpose of commitment to better our community, and our work continues. Across the United States, communities are grappling with a widespread housing shortage, and Sheboygan is no exception. The effects of the national housing crisis can be felt here right at home, impacting individuals and local businesses alike. While our city has made meaningful progress in addressing these challenges, there's still so much more work to do to ensure that Sheboygan remains a livable community for all. To move forward effectively, it is essential that we continue to engage with our residents, our business leaders, nonprofit folks as well, and listen carefully to their needs in crafting our housing solutions that reflect the diverse makeup of our city. A one-size-fits-all approach is no longer sufficient. This is why we'll continue on our all-of-the-above strategy when it comes to housing that promotes development of a wide range of housing types and it meets the needs of all income levels and life stages. This includes expanding our housing stock to incorporate single-family homes, duplexes, townhomes, senior living options, and yes, additional multifamily apartments. By encouraging a healthy mix of housing options, we can better support workforce retention, accommodate growing families, and ensure that everyone has a place to call Sheboygan home. Addressing the housing shortage is not just about increasing supply, it's about also investing in stronger neighborhoods, increasing density, and modernizing our zoning codes to get it done. And we remain committed to investments in the vitality and growth of our downtown. The heart of any community is its downtown, and our downtown is thriving with local businesses, wonderful public services like the library and restaurants and bars alike. Now, a thriving downtown serves as a key economic driver for our entire region. This allows folks and businesses to market our community, to recruit and retain top talent. It also promotes cultural vibrancy and community engagement. And supporting our local businesses is essential to this vision. A central part of our investments in downtown will be increasing density and focusing on mixed-use development projects that combine residential, commercial, and public spaces. This approach not only makes more efficient use of available land, but also helps increase walkability from the street level to the rooftop and bringing new energy to the area. By promoting greater foot traffic and pedestrian safety, we can create a downtown that is more vibrant both day and night. Our commitment to downtown revitalization is not just about our infrastructure and building, it's about creating a sense of place and community, a place where we all want to live, work, shop, dine, and connect with our neighbors. Also, maintaining Sheboygan's status as one of the safest communities in Wisconsin requires our continued support for our city's first responders. The members of our police and fire department serve with dedication, placing themselves on the front lines each and every day to protect our residents, safeguarding our property, and making sure that we can swiftly respond to emergencies. Their services are not only provide daily safety, but is also foundationally important for the stability of our community to move forward. So let's continue to support our first responders and provide them the tools that they need to succeed and keep our community safe. We also remain steadfast in our commitment to cutting unnecessary red tape and modernizing our operations for city government. By streamlining processes and embracing innovation, we aim to create more efficient and accessible public services. One key area that we need to focus on is simplifying and being more straightforward with our residents and how we deliver those services every day. We also need to focus on providing opportunities for folks to host events and cut red tape so folks can easily access our parks and our green spaces throughout our community. Our goal to remove barriers and increasing greater use of all of our shared spaces fosters a stronger sense of community and adds more fun along the way. In addition, we will continue to invest in our core city services to enhance the quality of life for all of our residents. This includes our ongoing support for the Meade Public Library, continuing investments in our growing senior center, Uptown Social, as well as the multitude of broad services and programs that the city helps facilitate and invest in every day for our residents. Now, we have real challenges ahead of us. And to tackle those, we need to make sure that we're chasing after our opportunities with purpose. We need leaders who will step up and shepherd our city forward. Grandstanding and posturing will not help our constituents, and Sheboyganites want positive, forward-thinking leaders to help move our city forward. So let's focus on these issues that positively impact working-class folks right here in Sheboygan. Together, we've built a Sheboygan that is strong, vibrant, and full of potential, and we can keep that momentum going by building a future where everyone has the chance to succeed, our children can dream big, and where our community continues to be a place of opportunity. Thank you so much. I'm honored to once again serve as the mayor for the next 4 years. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and God bless the city of Sheboygan. Thank you. All right. Next, I will hand out the appointments, which will lay over. Six. Six. This is for... Yeah, there should be enough room up here. And those will lay over. Next, item 18, resolution number 12526 by Alder Decker, requesting the mayor to reactivate various special committees for the 2025-2026 council year. Alder Decker.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, this is a voice vote. All those in favor of approval, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? That is approved. We've exhausted the agenda. Alder Decker, what is your pleasure?
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of adjournment, state aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at 7:04. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
adjourned.